Hello, friends. We are back again with my July no buy recap. But the biggest difference this month is I believe I have truly transitioned into my second half of the year being a low buy year. My point of this no buy year was not to not buy anything. It was to intentionally think about what I'm purchasing and why. I have my contentment filter that has been running through every single month since January. Is this a purchase that will lead me on my journey to contentment? And I have been using that to decide if I can purchase something or not. And I have had certain exceptions of this is a definite no buy category. But after 6 months, I realized that my impulsive spending was gone, that I was changing the way I looked at purchases. And now we're in July. And as I looked back at the things that I did buy, a common thread ran through all of them. I'm not buying just to buy. I'm not buying for a version of my life that I want, but suddenly I am buying for the life that I'm actually living. And honestly, that's like the biggest win from this no buy year. On this channel, I've never used it to speak specifically about numbers because to me, it wasn't directly about the money. It was always about the mindset behind it. So I'm going to share what I bought this July. And if you truly don't think it's a no buy, then that's fine. I'm okay with this transitioning into a low buy for quarter 3. We're going to get into exactly what I purchased. But what I noticed as I was writing them down, that almost every single purchase supported my current life, had a direct reason. And if you remember from quarter 2, that was one of the things I was paying attention to. I told myself that if I bought something, I had to have a purpose, a time, a date when I would use it. So number 1, I had to go to Goodwill and buy a wedding dress. But first, I looked in my closet and I tried on every single dress. They asked for formal attire. And I realized that all of my formal dresses that are appropriate for weddings were no longer actually appropriate for weddings because they were all purchased and worn before I nursed 2 babies. So my chest does not fit any of them. And as my daughter astutely said when I tried a couple of them on, Mama, that would be dangerous to dance in. She was very right. It would be very dangerous to dance in. I'm not that type of woman. So we went to Goodwill. And I'm super pumped about what I found, which is a $300 dress, new with tags, that I got for $13. That was the hugest win of July, was a $13 dress. And I wore it to that wedding, loved it. It fit like a glove. I got so many compliments. And I'm proud of myself for not just going on Amazon or going online and going to buy a dress. Also, on the clothing realm, I have been tolerating uncomfortable underwear. I think I added them in a previous no buy video that I finally purchased new underwear because I needed some. It has been driving me nuts the entire time. The waistband, so uncomfortable, digs into me. It's like this tiny little band. Anyways, I hate it. So I finally bought new underwear. They are so comfortable, and I could replace the ones that I have just been tolerating for the sake of not buying anymore when they've kind of been ruining my days. For me, sometimes I feel like intentional spending looks like finally solving a problem or replacing something that you've been putting up with. And that was this for me. Next, we have a rechargeable fan. It was July 4th. I was at my in-laws. My mother-in-law got the times mixed up for getting in line for the golf cart parade. We get down to where the golf cart is supposed to be, and there's no other golf carts. And in that moment, I start panicking because it is 90 degrees. We're in the full sun, and we are about a half an hour early to this lineup. The lineup starts happening, and the parade doesn't actually move for another half an hour. And I was sweating. I was nauseous. I felt like I was going to faint. I had to get up, try to find shade. I sat on the step of the golf cart trying to get some shade, but also we had 3 young kids with us and I was trying to give them shade. I was dipping my finger in my son's water bottle and putting it on his neck and my neck. And I started having a panic attack because when I don't feel good, my medical anxiety kicks in. And in that moment, I would have done anything to feel cool. So, post haste, I rushed to Amazon that night and ordered a rechargeable fan. I have already used that multiple times since. We just on Saturday attended a birthday party that was indoors. I thought it would be cool. It was 82 degrees in the room where they did the cake. And I used the fan. My son used the fan. For me and my anxiety, cooling down as soon as I can helps me not spiral into an anxiety attack. So I wasn't just buying a fan. I was buying something for future K that was going to be used and has been used and will hopefully prevent me from having a panic attack on a holiday in the future. Next up, we have the Ninja Creamy. If you know what the Ninja Creamy is, it makes ice cream, but we are dairy free. So we can make our own dairy free ice cream. At first, this sounds like a huge purchase. They are not cheap. I think the one I got was eventually on sale for like $175, I believe. But here's the caveat. I got it for my husband for our 10-year anniversary. And I had been planning this for almost a year. We've already used it multiple times. In the end, it becomes cheaper than buying dairy-free ice cream pints. We can cut out a lot of the sugar, which is helping with his health issues. And it has been an intentional purchase because I pre-planned and it's connected to exactly when I was giving it as a gift. So for me, this one also passes the filter. Now, I went back and forth on this next one. I got a sand cloud towel. At first, it seems like this is a gray area. We have towels, but I have this son who likes excavators and turtles. And we have one excavator towel. My daughter has her couple of towels. I myself like my Turkish towels because they're softer and they dry faster and I don't like the big heavy ones. SandCloud was having a sale and they had a turtle towel in the sale. And I went ahead and purchased a turtle towel. So I was like, worst case scenario, I will love it. I like SandCloud towels. It turns out this has not been just a towel purchase because my son, when he doesn't have his excavator towel, won't use the other towels. When we go to my in-laws, there's a turtle towel there he will use, but if his towel has to be in the wash because we've been going to the pool multiple days in a row, then kind of just hates the other towels. So I was reducing a point of friction. To me, I was making summer easier for our family. We had all of June where it was super hot. We went through the heat wave and I was just tired of fighting about towels. So now he can use that towel. I can use that towel. It always stays in our beach bag. And I know I have a safe towel for my son. And as someone who deals with anxiety, who potentially deals with sensory processing disorder, I understand. And I'm not going to fight my son and force him to use other towels when I myself don't like some of those other towels as well. I have decided that this gray area passes because it has been used. We love it. And now I have that second towel to replace the excavator towel when the 3-year-old needs it. Now here's another quick one. If you remember from the June video, I bought the medley wine because I liked the idea of having it in a bag that lasts for 45 days and I could just keep it in the fridge. Well, I have decided that instead of just going to the liquor store and buying one-off bottles for when we are hosting, I prefer this box wine. But if we're going to the wine store and buying this box wine, it's still more expensive than I would like. So this month, I bought Every wine because you can get the first time purchase discount and it makes it much cheaper than the box wines at my local wine market. So now I have this wine that once it's open, I can use it for 30 days. I can use it when we're hosting. I can have a red and a white and a rosé that I don't have to throw out within 2 or 3 days of the white wine being opened. And I think I realized that this fits how we host much better because we don't always plan a party. Suddenly, my husband will just invite a couple of his friends and it turns into like 15 people at our house. Other times, my in-laws will come over, but then my sister-in-law comes over and my brother-in-law comes over, and then my parents come over and we have this family barbecue. They last longer. We get to try different wines and I get to kind of have a couple in the cabinet for when those people come over without worrying that I'm going to open this white wine for one glass for my mom and then I don't drink white wine and the rest goes to waste. To you, that might seem silly. It might seem like a surplus, but to me, this is a system that my maybe slightly autistic brain is enjoying, just knowing I have the wine in the cabinet for when I need it to serve more than one person and they last an entire month. Plus, I'm getting them a discount. I've created a system. I am now using the system. That to me is an intentional, non impulsive purchase. And then lastly is this tiny little thing called the Pico camera. It's like a retro thumb drive size camera that goes on your keychain and it takes pictures and videos like an old camcorder. And I love the idea of this because I have been trying to carry this camera, my phone, my big camera when we go out on a hike or when we are riding bikes with the kids or going on a walk or going to my parents to swim in the pool. And I either forget to take the big camera out or my phone is running out of storage because suddenly I'm a content creator who does YouTube and I'm making reels for my photography and my coaching. And I'm just surrounded by videos right now. And in those moments, I don't want to be having to empty my phone to get a picture of my daughter jumping into the deep end for the first time. But this tiny little flash drive size camera was marketed as this documentary style camera. And I don't know how it's going to work. I haven't tried it because it's not here yet, but it is on its way. And I have been wanting to do a family video for years. I did one 2017, I think, for my whole family before I had kids. And I actually still love looking back on that. But I put together all these clips that came from my big camera that I carried around. And this one, I love the idea that like my kids can take some pictures with it. It's always going to be there only for this purpose. And maybe it's the photographer in me, but this documentary style camera is something that I think will improve my life. Other people might be okay with their phone or having a small video camera just for family photos and family videos. But for me, I use these other cameras for so much other professional stuff that I don't often want to pull them out when it comes to just hanging out at the beach with my kids. So I will let you know in the future if it's truly a good purchase, if it's something that has impacted my life positively or negatively. But the idea of it always being right there on my keychain, ready to capture whatever is happening, to just put the clip together for a simple documentary style family video montage like I have from when I was a kid, then I think it's going to be a great buy. Hopefully, I can use it all August and then let you know. Maybe even show you a few clips. But, anyways, in closing, when I look back over everything that I purchased, which I admit seems like a lot for no buy recap, I realize that I'm not buying for someone I wish I could be. I am buying items that specifically solve a problem in my life. I'm buying fewer things to become someone else, but I'm intentionally buying things that support who I am right now. So the no buy has changed me, but it's also shifted a bit into a low buy. And I'm over here saying that I want to create a life I don't have to recover from, that I want to live a real life, an intentional life. And so I'm not upset if my no buy has to shift because I'm used to things having to shift. My coaching framework is called the shift method. I'm not rushing and impulsively buying things now. I'm asking better questions about my purchases and I'm buying with intention instead of emotion. And I think that's a better goal instead of trying to hit $0 every month, which it never even was about that for me. So thanks for being here so much. I hope you're okay with this shift. In the end, it's my life anyways, but I'm glad to have you along for the ride and I will see you in August.